good evening everybody and a very happy new year to all of you. A new year offers occasion for reflection on the past and resolutions for the future. 2024 was a turbulent year for the world, multiple wars, multiple elections. It was also a celebration of democracy like we saw in India, one big Lok Sabha election that reinstated Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister for the third time. Other state assemblies including J&K voted. People came out in large numbers to also protest against the gruesome RG Kar rape and murder case in Kolkata. It showed that governments are accountable and cannot take people for granted. More women joined the workforce. That's what the Labour survey says. More missing children were also found. India's Paralympians, chess champions, showed us the way forward, making us proud. Even as India's growth rate remained grim, globally, Donald Trump is back again as President of the United States of America. Thailand has legalized same-sex marriages. Syria fell. South Korea survived the test of democracy. And a lot happened. But here's to the start of 2025 on an optimistic note. We will talk about our New Year resolutions today. What is on minds, what is on our minds even as we brace ourselves for yet another year of trumping over struggles together. We'll be joined by a panel of digital influencers. Joining me now is Nicholas Booker, who's a social media influencer. We have Maganpreet Kaur, who is a lifestyle influencer. We also have Karan Marwa, who's a food vlogger. Thank you, all of you, and a happy new year to all of you. Mr. Booker, to you first. You're the Brit who's teaching Indians a lot about our own history. Tell us, I think you're most excited about the Kumbh Mela that is happening now. Tell us, what are your resolutions when it comes to 2025?
Namaskar. Wonderful to see you and to be starting New Year 2025 with you. So I have spent the last couple of days on a beach in Goa making a sand model of Mahakumbh Mela, of Prayagraj Tirthi, of the Sangam, and I've had the most amazing time doing it. So I've actually decided that my resolution this year is to be more practical, to do more things with my hands, to be more physical and engage with the world rather than just clicking the mouse and the touchpad and using screens. So I'm going to do much more physical things and hopefully bring Indian culture to life using that kind of means of communication.
That's so wonderful, being hands-on. Maganpreet Kaur, what do you think? You know, being practical, being out there, experiencing the world is so much more important. But for a social media influencer, because the pressure is also on you to create relevant content, tell us what your resolutions look like for 2025.
Basically, mine are like, I have been working with lifestyle influencing. So there are so many brands that comes up on your way. So it's like indulging in more luxurious based brands and taking that thing to that level. I just want to make my name to that thing where people recognize me by my name. So that's my New Year resolution, where people get into my name. Even after listening it, they are like that, yes, she is that lifestyle influencer that has come up. So I just want to make my name come up to that point of time where when luxurious influencers are taken into name, so they know that that's my name.
Marwa, I was going through your profile as well, and you know the interesting thing is you also tell people to buy affordable food. You know, in 1,000 rupees, you'll tell us what is the best that we can eat. So I think that is the best part of your outreach. Tell us, you know, this is one thing we always wonder about food bloggers and vloggers. How do you keep healthy? Because you know there's so much good stuff out there to eat, and you're telling us all about that. Tell us, how do you keep healthy and what is your resolution in 2025?
So funny that you mentioned being healthy. It is a struggle as much for me as it is for others. So, you know, I tell everyone, okay, this is for indulgence. Don't make it a habit to eat this kind of food every day. We try to cover some healthier options as well. And for everyone, balance is important, be it in eating or creating content. And that is why my resolution for 2025, it's a very exciting year. We have an all new generation, the generation beta. It is time to beta test everything, create innovative content formats, do something for the creator economy, do something for the audience, strike that balance and do something for yourself. So I want to travel the world even more. We did some exciting food trips to Japan and Vietnam this year. And 2025 is going to be no different. We're going to do very interesting things for our audience. We're going to find the best of the world food, best of the local food. And also, I want to try and increase that awareness of, to show people that whatever we are doing, it has a certain balance. So follow that, eat good food, but balance it out. And yes, travel the world. And for me personally, I want to travel and I want to strike that balance between creating content for my audience and enjoying myself, because that is also very important for mental health. So yes, travel the world, create some fantastic content. I've been innovating. And by the way, it marks 10 years of my food blog. So
Right.
it is very exciting for me.
All the best. Mr. Booker, what is that one thing that you tasted in 2024 that really, sort of made you very happy? And what is that one place in 2025 in India that you really want to visit? Mr. Booker?
I just had the most amazing tacos that are Goan style at Ashway, which is behind me on this beach. So I love the way that you can get Indian fusions and twists on great Indian ingredients and dishes. So, for example, the fish seafood of Goa, absolutely fabulous, but doing it in interesting new ways. I love the way that India is experimenting with cuisine as well as having the kind of traditional deliciousness of the old Gurkha dishes.
Right. And what is that one place in India that you really want to visit in 2025?
Prayagraj, no doubt about it. Yeah, I absolutely can't wait to visit Prayagraj. It will be my first time attending a Mahakumbh Mela. I've been to Kumbh Mela before in Haridwar, but this is the first time going to Prayagraj. And yeah, I can't think of anywhere else for the next couple of months.
Right. Maganpreet, when we talk about important things on people's mind, mental health seems to be a very important, area of concern. Of course, self-care. As a digital influencer, what are your views when it comes to, use of social media, and also, taking care of oneself, specifically when it comes to one's own mental health?
I've seen that recently one of my co-influencer only, she went on with the suicide attempt. So there are certain things which you have to take care while you are creating out content. The main thing is that whenever you are creating out content, you should keep in mind that you have someone to share out all your problems and all your deeds and all the obstacles that you follow, whether it's in the shooting part or whether it's with your peer workers or whether it's with all the people whom you are gearing up with. You should have someone in life to share up all your things and all your day-to-day activities with that person, even if that's the mental pressure. Like, for example, if you are shooting out something, so obviously there is time limitations that you have to follow up, that you have to finish up the content at this particular level. So that's the main thing, that you should follow up that thing, and you should have someone to gear up you. You should have your audience. Main thing is that your audience are the biggest support that you have, and they are the one who always support you. They are the one who always motivate you, that if no one is there, your audiences and your family members are there to always support you, that yes, you're creating out something that's amazing. I was an engineering student, and after that, I changed out my field to this particular way. So I was like that, going from engineering journey and coming up as a content creation. I started up as a fashion influencer.
Right.
So there were so many people saying me that this is not the right thing where you're going up. But now I am proving them wrong, that this is what I have done. This is what I have achieved.
Right.
So that's the main thing.
Okay, Mr. Marwa, in a pessimistic age, people often say that we should welcome the unknown. What are those unknown things or partially known things that you're most curious about, when it comes to 2025?
I do love talking to people. It's like that mostly.
Yes.
Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, Karan Marwa, yeah.
Yes. So I think one thing we've all seen in the last couple of years is that you can never be prepared enough for what is unknown. So you can only be prepared for what your goals are. And, I've learned to be spontaneous because of that. I want to be more spontaneous this year because you never know what's coming into your life. So that spontaneity that people have forgotten in that daily rush, in that rat race, that spontaneity I need to bring back in my life, and also want to propagate that feeling of welcoming the unknown. Of course, a pessimistic view is that what if the unknown brings in a challenge that you are not prepared for? Well, I mean, then that is where the whole mental health debate, if you're sorted here, you can tackle any challenge, and be it food creation for chefs or for creation or for any profession. I think being sorted here, it's the biggest challenge, and I hope everyone who's watching this gets sorted with their all mental health battles, and that is what I will also focus on, to be
Right.
balanced when it comes to mental health. Yes.
Mr. Booker, as we step into 2025, it's important we also remember the silver linings that we saw in 2024. Tell us the two good things about India that you sort of experienced in 2024, and also the two things that you think India can sort of improve.
Gosh, well, that's a tough question. Putting me on the spot there. The kindness of people has been the great joy for me of 2024. So I've been talking about India with students from different countries, bringing groups from Australia, from New Zealand, from America, taking them around India, giving them opportunities to learn from Indians. But I've never really had a chance to reach an Indian audience. So being able to speak through social media and the comments and the kind of conversations that we've had with Indian people talking about Indian culture, history, philosophy, psychology, spirituality, nature has been amazing. And because Indians are so kind and generous with their time and with their knowledge and teaching me things, it's been absolutely by far and away the standout for 2024 is the kindness and interest that Indians have had in the content that we've been sharing on social media. If there was one, okay, this is a really naughty question you've asked. So what is the one thing that could be improved? I'm going to say learning more about India. So I have so many friends who are so interested, Indian friends, who are so interested in learning about going to the UK or the US or, foreign parts of the world for travel or even for studies or even just to learn about those countries' pasts. But India is so rich in opportunities to learn. It's the 21st century country. We're living in the Indian century, whether it's the technology or the 5,000-year-old traditions of the civilizational heritage. India is just endlessly fascinating and I think really relevant, particularly in an age of artificial intelligence and accelerating technology. On the one hand, you've got all of that going on here, but you've also got all of those yoga, meditation, mindfulness, sankalps and vrats and all of the traditions of India that can be enjoyed as well. And spending time in Indian nature, even if it's a park in a city, and observing the bird life and the rhythms of the seasons, the trees flowering, all of that enables us to connect with a world beyond the screen, even though I'm using the screen as a means for communicating that enthusiasm.
Right. Thank you so much. That's beautifully said. Being more hands-on, connecting more with people around us, with nature around us seems to be the way forward. Thank you all of you for joining me on this broadcast. We also have Kritika Govindasamy. She's a digital influencer who creates videos on history on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you, Kritika, for speaking to NDTV. We are talking about resolutions. Tell us, in your view, what do you want the youth of India to focus on the most in 2025?
I believe the youngsters nowadays, including me, are struggling with mental health a lot. So we should know how to handle our mind so that we can handle the things outside better. So I believe prioritizing your mental health, and we should know how to handle ourselves first so that we can handle the other things efficiently. So that would be my resolution. I would really suggest for other people as well.
Also, this has been a year that saw a lot of turmoil for social media influencers. Can you tell us about the constant pressure that someone like you has to face when it comes to creating relevant but also viral content? You're somebody who keeps posting on history. How do you keep up with that kind of pressure?
To be honest, I'm a victim here because when I started creating content, I also started consuming a lot. So I used to spend a lot of time on the internet. I used to see a lot of content, and it definitely took a toll on my mental health. On top of it, to stay in the game, to be relevant, you need to keep giving your content out no matter what. Like, doesn't matter if you're sick, doesn't matter something happens in your family, you need to show up so that people don't forget you. So I started my journey in 2022. So at the end of 2022, and I made it this far in a span of 2 years now. So I used to work for around 15, 16 hours a day back then. So I hardly slept for 4 5 hours a day. I used to write content which will take me 3 4 days. Then I used to edit my own videos. Then I used to make my own thumbnail. So it did really take a toll on my mental health, but definitely it did paid off. Like, the results were amazing. I got to enjoy all the perks that's coming along. So, but how do we create a balance? That is, I think, I'm still figuring it out. I'm not there yet. I don't have a big team. I'm just a little girl from a village who's doing things. But yeah, we need to it's definitely, the pressure is immense because nowadays the competition is so high. The competition, it's like if you just disappear for 1 month, you're gone. Like, there are other people who are ready to take your place, so you need to show up no matter what. But also, how do we create the balance? I think investing some time in personal care, self-care activities like doing some yoga, meditation will go a long way, I guess, which is something I am into nowadays, and it's definitely helping.
Right. Also, Kritika, you are somebody who posts on history. I've watched your videos. You cite your research. Clearly, a lot of time goes into that. What made you take this decision to post videos on history? Because that's also, an area where there's a lot of contention. This is where people may disagree with you, people may agree with you. So clearly, and some of it could also be, used by politicians. Was that a difficult choice to make?
I'm a history graduate, by the way, so I specialize in this. Like, I know things. So when I after college I graduated in history. So after college I was doing some other jobs, whatever that was in my way I was doing that, not any particular position or something. I'm from a small village, like in Tamil Nadu. So when I started consuming a lot of Instagram reels, I came across a lot of podcast on history. So when I started seeing those videos, I felt like I could do a better job on this. And I also did some research that there was no one who was particularly making content on history. I thought, okay, I could fill this gap that is there. And yes, it is definitely it's not a easy ground, because it comes along with politics. It's the opinions of people, and it's so much negativity is also there. But this is what I studied, this is what I know. So I don't really think I could do justice to any other field. I can, as much as I can do in this field. So I know this stuff. So I think there's no other option for me to consider. I don't think I'm good at fashion. I don't think I'm good at anything else. I can't do anything else other than this, actually.
Okay. And lastly, while we hold social media responsible for a lot of evils around us, it's also been empowering to many of us. How does one find that sense of balance to use it the right way?
Yeah, it does definitely has a lot of pros to it, because my life changed upside down, like complete upside down, because of this. Because some randomly one day I decided to make videos, and it's complete upside down my life. Otherwise I would have been working in uh, some sort of shops in Tamil Nadu. Now I'm sitting here in Mumbai in an apartment, doing videos, meeting a lot of people, and doing some amazing stuff. So it is definitely empowering. It is, I in my village I've employed some 5 people to work on my videos. I've taught them video editing. So it is changing a lot of life in my community, at least. So it all depends on how you use it. There are a lot of good stuff there. I've learned everything from social media, right from video editing, right from video making. What kind of lights do you need to use, what kind of camera you have to use. Every single thing I learned from social media, then I made. So whatever that is that you're learning, you do it. So time is something that a lot of people are wasting nowadays. We are just scrolling Instagram all day, single day. Mindless consuming is not going to take you anywhere. Focus on your path, what you want to do, be clear with your goals, and consume the content that's going to help you achieve your goals, and it is going to help you. And that's the way I kind of made it. So it's all about how you use it. It's in your hands at the end of the day.
Well, thank you, Kritika Govindswamy, for joining us on NDTV. Clearly, balance is the way forward today. I read somewhere that it is easy to lose sight of the reality that there has never been a better time to be alive. So we need to remember that. Rather than assume the worst, let's resolve to do everything we can to help engineer the best possible outcome for the world. And that is what we start New Year 2025 with.